Okay. Once again, welcome. On my chapter 3. This chapter 3, the title which is Research Methodology. In research methodology, this chapter explains the methods and procedures followed in conducting the research study. Here, we are on the process of conducting a research with the questionnaires, of course. And this chapter, it explains the methods and procedures followed in conducting the research study. We will start with the research design. When we say about research design, this is the descriptive research was used to obtain information concerning the current status of the phenomena to describe what is with respect to variables or conditions in situation, as mentioned by J.P. Kay of 1997. Descriptive research method was be used, and to know the personal profile of the student respondents, their satisfaction to the quality of and perceptions to the importance of the services that are provided by the university they are currently enrolled or studying. So it means that the research design, I am using the descriptive research. When we say about descriptive research, it is describing what is in respect to the variables. So the variables that we used to consider the profiles of the respondents as mentioned in the questionnaires that I have to discuss in the later part. Okay? So the study is correlative since it is designed to examine the significant relations and differences between or among the students respondents, independent variables, their profile, and their satisfaction of the university services in which they are enrolled. The primary mode that was used to evaluate was formed of a self-preferred questionnaire and interviews that is done as follow-up. So meaning, this descriptive has a correlative on the design, what kind of results it will be come out. And I prepared the self-prepared questionnaires. When we say about self-prepared questionnaires, I will make it a point that I have the questionnaires of my own, and it will be interviewed and given to the students as the clients, as the customers, to be filled up in the later part. Okay? So we have the research environment. Here in the research environment, this study was conducted at a Catholic educational institution, the College of Commerce. And this College of Commerce is considered as the College of Business Administration of the University of Perpetual Health System and the Molino campus of Cavite and the Philippines, offering several commerce and business-related courses that are based on several CHED memorandum curriculars. The college will undergo initial accreditation evaluation surveyed by a known accrediting organizations like the PACOCOA. When we say about the PACOCOA, it is The Philippine Accreditation of Colleges and Universities, Commission on Accreditation. This is the accrediting bodies by the Commission on the Higher Education as far as the memorandum being circulated in all the colleges and universities in the country. So, the school is a Catholic education institution, but they are accepting enrollees or students with different religion. Okay? And to continue my presentation, this is the sample population size. So the population in the sample size, I am referring to the different numbers of students enrolled in the university. So, come out with the population and sample size. Okay? The respondents of the study were the students of the College of Commerce, which is the College of the Business Administration enrolled during the first semester school year 2014-2015 presented in the table below. So, the table 1, the frequency distribution of the senior students or all the students as the respondents. All students including the seniors. It is means from first year, the freshman, the second year, the junior, the third year, and the senior, the fourth year student respondents. So in the first column, they have the major of specialization. The second column is the number of the total enrollees in the sample, which is the total enrollees in every major subject. Okay? So the College of Business Administration has 3 major. The first major is Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Marketing Management. In Marketing Management, we have the total number of enrollees. The first years, we have 51 students. The second year, we have the 30 students. The third year, we have the 20 students. The fourth year is 32 students. The total is 127 students all. Okay, as I will verify it to the computation of the number of students, I should say that in order to get the sample which is n, so it is 51 plus 30 plus 20 plus 32. We come out with the number of students. Okay? And then it should be 127, so there is there are students who did not who dropped particularly the subject. There are 6 which come out with the total samples of 127 students only who answered my questionnaires. So the 6 students did not answer my questionnaires. Okay? So after that, we come out with a second group of students, which is the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Business Management. So here, the total number of enrollees is 49. for the first year, and for the second year is 32, and for the third year is 31, and for the fourth year, which is 8. So come out with total of 120 students, but that 130 students did not answer all. There are only 105 who respond to the questionnaires. That's why there are only 15 students. There are 15 students who did not answer. I give to all 120 students, but the questionnaires only return back, which is 105. So there are 15 students who did not make it. Or in other words, these are the following students who only answered as my sample. And come up next is the last major, the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Development Management. So, there are 31 students on the first year. There are 31 on the fourth year, and then on the second year is 8, and then on the third year is 7, on the fourth year is 8, with a total of 54. But there are only students who answer my questionnaire, which is 37, and out of that, there are 17 students who did not reply to the questionnaires, or they did not return it back. So come out with a total of 269 students all in all who answers my questionnaires. So this group of students are considered the sample size of the population. When we say about sample size, there are only limited number of students, or not necessarily limited, but there are only students who respond to the questionnaires, because when the time that I give the questionnaires, there are very in a hurry to transfer to another class of them, that they do not want to be late, because there are professors that do not want the students to be late. And in other words, there are students that they are absent at time, so they could not answer the questionnaires directly. So it is though they did not answer all, but it is a good sample that the 269 students all answers and being calculated accordingly. Okay. As I mentioned here, the sampling frame for this study focused on the students enrolled during the school year 2014-2015, the first semester. The best sampling procedure for this type of population was purposive random quota sampling, as to classify a particular group of respondents from a certain portion of the population. As per advised by the university statistician, a quota of 35% respondents per school should be achieved. The sample size in this study was calculated from the following formula given by Yamani of 1973, where is n is equals to the n over 1 plus n e to the second power, where is n is equals to the number or to the sample size. and then N to the population size, and the acceptable error, which is the percentage. So, whatever the sample size of your study, it should be evaluated and it should be computed by your statistician. The researcher itself, it's not no longer the one who will compute or tally the data, because it is the role of the statisticians to do it, to tabulate, to compute whatever the result is. So, it is indicated in the chapter 3 about the sampling frame. Okay? So, following next is research instruments. In research instruments, this study used self-designed and prepared questionnaire and personal interviews. The questionnaire was combination format, which has an open-ended question, checklist, and completion type. Part 1 of the questionnaire consists of items that determine the profile of the students respondents. Part 2, on the other hand, was designed to determine of the students' satisfaction and are enrolled. The respondents were asked to rate these listed university services and the quality of the services. The different university services along several areas used collect in the questionnaire are developed from the findings of the past related researches in different questionnaires are developed from findings of the past related researches and different universities and colleges, not locally but internationally. If needed questions are asked from the students, the guarantee that the questionnaire was valid and reliable, the researchers asked the research coordinator, marketing faculty members, the research advisors to review the questionnaire. Their comments and suggestions were used as the basis in editing and improving the questionnaire. The improved questionnaire was then presented to the university statistician for approval. So meaning, before I give the questionnaires to my students, it is being tested first. It is being approved first by the Research Development Center. So, as a research coordinator of the college, I do the research, but it is being shown into, I left the approval of our Research Development Center. So out of that, I proceed and continue conducting the research as stated. But before that, there are a series of questions that I used to tell them that there are part 2. The first part, the questionnaire consists of the items that determined of the profile of the respondent. The profile, I am referring to the age, to the year, about their parents, how they supported it, if they have, it is based on the statement of the problem, of course. And the part 2 is, on the other hand, was designed to determine the student satisfaction on the services that they are enrolled in the university. I am only referring for the first semesters as the subject of the study. In that case, I am very thankful that the University Research Center approved my questionnaire. Then, it is being given to the group of students, and I collate that. Then, most of the students answer it, and then being shown on the previous slide the number of students who answer, which is the total of 269 students. Okay. Okay. Here is the data gathering procedure. In data gathering procedure, the researchers, which is myself, secured the approval of the administrators of the university. Upon approval of the questionnaire, there are personally given to the students, respondents. Majority of the respondents answer the questionnaire under the supervision of the researchers, I myself. The instrument was retrieved after being administered, and the responses are tallied. The generated data were proceeded and subsequently analyzed and interpreted. The floating and retrieval of the questionnaire was done on July 5 and 6, 2014, respectively. Okay? Upon the approval of as I mentioned, that our research department approved my questionnaires, I personally give that to the different group of students. And as mentioned here, that majority of the students, they answer the questionnaires with my supervision. Then right after I get it from them, I retrieve them, then the responses are being tallied. During the tallying of the results, I asked one of my student assistants to tally whatever the results of the questionnaires, and I myself used to evaluate that. So, the questionnaires being floated and retrieved of the same day, which is 2 days, done July 5 and July 6, respectively. When I give July 5, the group of students, right after then and there, I retrieve it. Then, on the second day, July 6, given and then retrieved at the same time. Then afterwards, the treatment of the data. When we say about treatment, to facilitate data presentation, analysis and interpretation, a 4-point Likert scale was used. Each scale indicates the respondent's satisfaction and perceived importance. Interpretation, the following is used. So here, as treated data are being presented, analyzed, and interpreted. This presentation, analysis, and interpretations are being shown in the next chapter, which is the chapter which is being shown in the chapter 4. Why? Because in chapter 4, whatever the result is, it should be presented through either table and figure. So based from that, I analyzed it with the help of the statistician and interpreted at the same time. And following the Likert scale is being used. And the scales being used, not only done myself, but with the help of our statistician. Because the statisticians are the one who supervise me in tabulating and tallying of the results. Okay? And okay, here we have the computed mean ranges, and we have the satisfaction to the quality of services. As computed mean ranges, that if it is ranges from 1.00 to 1.49, the respondent says they are not satisfied. So meaning, whatever services offering to them, they did not satisfy. So it could be interpreted and it could be presented through the table, and it is being shown, as I said, on chapter 4. Okay? So, following next computed mean ranges 1.50 to 2.49. It is the satisfaction of the quality of services is moderately satisfied. Not necessarily satisfied, but only moderate. Moderate because there are only satisfaction, but not all. So how could I get the computed mean ranges? As I said, with the help of the statistician, they are the one who give that mean computed. So it's then statistician knowledge, I should say. And then the next computed mean ranges 2.50 to 3.49. Satisfaction to the quality of services is satisfied. When we say about satisfied, they like the services. They like whatever services being given by the colleges, by the students itself, and they used to pass the so-called 9 areas of accreditation. So the next computed mean ranges from 3.50 rather, 3.50 to 4.00. This is the highest, which is the very satisfied. So, as the result, we'll be presenting on the next chapter that I could say of the very satisfied result as far as the computed mean ranges is concerned. Okay? So, each of the independent variables is coded to facilitate the statistical computations. As I said, each of the independent variables is coded to facilitate statistical computations. All the quantitative information gathered was encoded using Microsoft Excel and submitted to a statistician for analysis. The statistical packages for social science used in the study. More specifically, the following statistical formulas used. The ANOVA and t-test for equality of means. As I mentioned, these are the statistical computation. When we say about the statistical computation, they have to observe the qualitative information gathered in being encoded using the Microsoft Excel. So, as I mentioned about, with the help of the statistician, we analyze and come out with the data. And then, in the later chapter, it will be presented. Okay? So, as I said, if you will be doing the research by yourself itself, you have to ask also the help of your statistician so that they could help you in a way on how to compute it, to tally, to tabulate, and to interpret at the same time. Then, okay, here. As you could see, you have, this is the sample of the questionnaire, but not necessarily the overall questionnaires is included here. In my next presentation, I have to show to you all questions being asked. So whatever the questions being asked, as far as the statement of the problem is concerned, it is being put all to a questionnaire. So these are only the as I mentioned about the first and the second part, but not all questions. There are other questions which is coming in the next presentation. Okay? So as I said, and as I tell you that the title of the study is Student Satisfaction on the Services of College of Business Administration of the UPHSD, means the University of Perpetual Health System, Delta Molino Campus in Molino, Cavite, Philippines, a basis for improving the student services area for PACU-COA accreditation. As I mentioned, that the college is undergoing PACU-COA accreditation prior to my study. But the accreditation is already done. We passed already the level 2 accreditation given by the PACU-COA. When we say PACU-COA, it means the Philippines Association of Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation. These are the committee who is involved, or the only accrediting body that they are accrediting different colleges and universities in the nation in order to have the so-called quality education. In this case, the university could impose the level of their, aside from the teaching strategy, the tuition fee could also increase in order to sustain the betterment of the colleges, the betterment of the campus, as well as with the increase of the salary of the tuition fee. That's why this accreditation help a lot in improvement, or in other words, they have the significance or the benefit, which is the stakeholders. And the stakeholders, we are referring to the internal and external. The internal, the people inside the university, not to mention about the employees, the teaching and the non-teaching staff, the administrators. The external part, stakeholders, they are the one who will also benefit, like the stores around. That if ever there are a lot of students, they have a lot of buyers in their stores. They have also different recreation that the nearby community could establish, such as opening of additional internet cafe, photocopying machine. Aside from that, they have the buying of the school's supplies and other related materials to the students needed in the university or in the school itself. So, the questionnaires and the statement of the problems are being divided into two aspects. The two aspects, we have the part 1 and the part 2. This part 1 is profile of the student respondent. Okay? When we say about profile of the student respondent, letter A is name, optional. Okay. Why I put optional? In research, in survey, sometimes some respondents, they usually hide their name. For what reason? For them, it is for confidentiality reason. They do not want to be, they do not want to be known. They do not want to be identified, because it might, if ever that they would disclose their identity, I think some of the person whom they know them could pinpoint that they are the one who tell that kind of answers to the specific questions. That's why it is a practice of all the questionnaires, the respondents, the researcher itself should put the word optional. So, it's the discretion now of the respondents if they will write their names or not. But luckily, all the students who is my respondents, they did not put their names. They blanked that as no names. So that there is no such biases at all. You could not identify who is this kind of student because they hide their identity as the number one requirements in the part 1. In the number 2, we have the course in the field of specialization. In this time, they have to specify, they have to indicate. Why they have to indicate? We could normally say what are the problems of a certain students in terms of their major specialization if they would specify their major, because as far as the college is concerned, there are only limited number of students, so we could assist whatever their needs want to add more in order to give more good quality education to them. So they have to put, as I mentioned, at the College of Business Administration, they have 3 majors of specialization or field of specialization. Number 1 is Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration in major in Marketing Management, or it is being called by the student as their major is MM. So people in the community knows what is MM because it is the College of Business Administration, major in Marketing Management. The other major following to that is the BM. So the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, BM stands for Business Management. The other one is the HRDM. So the College of Business Administration major in HRDM stands for the Human Resource Development Management. Okay? In that case, they have also to fill up all down. Third is gender. There are students who is considered as on the third sex, but they still belong to the male or female. They have to identify themselves of who are they. Knows that they are also on the third sex, that they used to identify themselves as a lesbian or the so-called the boys which is the lesbian, and the girl is which is the so-called the gay. But still, they have to check their gender identity. Either it is a male or a female. Okay? This one, letter D. Most of the students didn't understand the ethnicity. Please indicate. Most of them, they asked me, and I explained to them. I told them that when we say about ethnicity, it is the ethnic group that where you belong. As I mentioned, though it is in the Philippines, we have the so-called Filipino. It is one identifying mark that you are a Filipino, but still, you must identify from what ethnic groups you belong. Say, for example, you are a Tagalog. Tagalog because you are in the city or in Manila. Then, if you are from the province, say, for example, you came from Mindanao, you came from Muslim area, you must be specified as your ethnicity is a Muslim. Or some, they used to identify as a Visayan because they belong to the Visayan group. Some, they usually identify as Tagalog, which is on the metro. Another one is from the north, which is, rather say, it's Ilocano, Ilocos region. Some, they identify as the Igorot one, which is on the mountain province, which is in Baguio, being identified. So there are other identity as far as the ethnicity or the ethnic groups are concerned. Okay? And next is letter E, which is religious. Religious affiliation. So they are also asking I am also asking the students to have to identify this because it affects, and not necessarily it affects, because we have to know, though it is a Catholic university, but no provision of not accepting any group of students. So it is open to any religion. So we found out that there are a lot of the students considered as the Roman Catholic or the Christians as well as dominated in the country or in the Philippines as well. They have different religions. In these different religions, not to mention that there are students also belongs to the so-called Muslims. Aside from that, they have foreign students also, but not necessarily in this group of college has a foreign student, but in other colleges and the universities, they have a foreign students that they belong to other religions also that they have to identify. So in the first part, I explained this to them all, so they are aware on what they are answering of. Okay? So as I proceed with the part 2. So in part 2, we have the so-called satisfaction of the student respondents on the quality of the service provided to them by the UPSSD. So meaning here, how the students will be satisfied. How could they will be satisfied? This satisfaction based from they have to answer the questions how satisfied you are with a particular service. Please fill the boxes as appropriate with a check mark. Kindly use the following scale. Okay? As you could notice to this questionnaire, there are the words which is being blackened, like feel. Please feel. It means imposing or emphasizing that the student should feel it, not necessarily ignore. They will not ignore that, but they have to feel it. Okay? The appropriate with a check mark, of course. So as you could see, with a check mark is also blackened, bold. Why? Emphasizing to the students that they have to feel and check the different answers that they want. And usually blacken the word kindly use the. It is not imposing, but it is telling them kindly use the following scale. So meaning of kindly, you are asking a favor to the students to do it. Because in research, if you give questionnaires, do not leave that only to them, then return back, then you retrieve. Because it might that the respondents will not give the correct response you want. So if you will ask them and then read them the instruction, then wait until they answer, you could get the correct response in that case. So we have here the table, as you could see. These tables, the first column is the numerical value, and the other table is the qualitative description. This numerical value starts with 0. Okay? Why I should put a 0? Why should put 0? Because 0 is not applicable at all. If ever there are questions that found by the respondents which is not applicable to the one that I am asking, they should fill 0 because they know that it is not applicable. But luckily, when I go furthermore with their studies, no such answer as 0. No one answers 0, rather. The second numerical value is 1. As you could see in the qualitative description, we have the so-called qualitative. Why qualitative? What is qualitative? We are on the quality of student services. How could we qualify? We know the quality if we will not put the word quality description. That's why the student could select whatever they want to select as long as they are being known what they are doing. On the number 1 numerical value, it is not satisfied. The lowest possible answer is 1. Because no one answer as not applicable as well as with the not satisfied. Definitely, if we have 1, we have 2, considering the second. And this 2 is moderately satisfied. In moderately satisfied, at least there are students who could consider themselves they are moderately only satisfied. But luckily, most of the students, based from my evaluation, it is number 3, which is the satisfied. Why we considered it as a satisfied? For them, this is the way of, or the level of satisfaction that they want to answer it on the questionnaires itself. On into number 4, we have the very satisfied. Okay. As the highest answer so far, very satisfied. No one that will be asking more. As far as the studies is concerned, there are students who answer very satisfied, but most of the answers are satisfied. And the second answers to the highest is the very, very satisfied. Because, as I said, we cannot please everybody. Whatever their answer, whatever the respondents answer is beyond the control of the researchers. So, I am telling that any researchers, if you will doing a research, you could not expect more from the respondents because you cannot control them. It is their own doing based on what you are asking. Okay? And these are the following questions that being asked. Following questions are suggested. Questions on the quality of services. Okay, as I said, we are referring to the quality of services. On the level, on the first column, these are the following questions that it should be answered. On the second column, this is the level of satisfaction that I explained a while ago. It ranges from 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, okay, here is how it goes. The first question is admission, registration, and orientation. As first question in the areas of accreditation and the statement of the problem about admission, aside from the profile, the first question in the part is admission, registration, and orientation. The question here is, how satisfied are you with? And it should be answered the following question as number 1. The information you receive from the university prior to submitting yourself for enrollment? Question mark. And I would like to tell the future researchers, the students of mine who are viewing my presentation, that all questions should be ended with question mark. Why question mark? Because we are asking them, and the respondents should also answer to us. Okay? So as the question, the information you received from the university prior to submitting yourself for enrollment, answerable by, if how many is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the later part of my research presentation, you could know if how many students answer that way. Okay? On the number 2 question, the efficiency with which your offer of a place was confirmed. Means, the efficiency which will you offer a place was confirmed. How efficient is this place of studies your colleges or university belong? The student knows what is the answers. They have to put the necessary corresponding level of satisfaction, and to take note that I am not dictating whatever the answer to them. They know what they are doing or answering. Number 3 question is the procedures for your registration with the university. Okay, so in terms of procedures, are they aware? The higher level, which is start from the second year after the graduating students, they are aware what are the procedures on registrations in the university. But the first year are not very much aware, especially the freshmen. So there are guides and there are notes indicated in the campus itself that the procedures for registration, for enrollment, so that they will be guided accordingly. They have to follow what is being asked there. And following next is the number 4. The efficiency with which your offer of a place was confirmed. So again, why number 4 is being repeated? To give you a good answer, we could know how efficient the students could answer question also. There are students who bored on answering the same question, but if you could ask the psychologist that they will answer it, you could validate to the students if ever you will answer it, you will question the same questions, and you could find out that their answer is also the same. So we are referring now here to the efficiency. Okay. The number 5, which is the admission procedures of the university. As I mentioned, from second year to the 4th year, and even to the 5th year, they know already the procedure. As far as the first year students are concerned, they have to follow the steps or the guide being written on as the first step of admission. It is being written also there. Number 6, the enrollment procedure. By the way, admission is different from enrollment. When we say about admission, you are being admitting yourself is being inquired, take the exam, and you are admitted in the university. But you are not yet enrolled. The moment you pay, you are enrolled already. So enrollment procedure, how it goes to be enrollment procedure. So, and then number 7 is the procedure for the orientation to students. These procedures, if you are properly enrolled, you pay already your tuition, the registrar's office would mark as officially enrolled. In this case, you will be scheduled for orientation. The per level of the course, there is such the schedule is been written in that written on the board, or being told by the administrating officers that the schedule will be on this date. On the number 8, the provision of information during the orientation procedures. So what are the information now during the orientation? Which is, when we say about information, you have to inform the students what are they, because informing them, especially the first year students, they did not even know what to will do, because came from some of the students came from the provinces. The other students are transferee. Other students, they are also returning. So some of them, they have to undergo orientation. So you must give a proper information to them, so that during orientation, they know, and the schedule is very important. And make sure the first orientation should be given if it is not started the regular classes. And if the classes is ongoing, the orientation is considered as a grouping of all the courses, and the courses are I am referring to not necessarily courses, but to the different majors of the College of Business Administration. So as I said, there are other questions that I will explain on my next presentation following next, because there's a lot of questions that it would be asked. So I have to consider it for any information and add it to whatever it is. Okay? So as I said, I almost done. I done already with the first part. On the second part, it's always the first question, and there are a lot of questions when I return by next presentation. Okay, I will see you by next presentation.